Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is fight week for UFC 286 in London and I'm obviously joined with my partner in crime, Callum. How are we doing?
Not too bad, bro. It's London time, baby. It's London time.
You know what that means? A decent time watch along.
Yes.
Decent time. There's no 3 a.m. wake ups. It's going to be at a decent time.
Well, main card's 9 p.m, isn't it?
Main card's 9 p.m. Prelims
Love
at
it.
7.
Love it.
Love it. Hey, it's a treat that we deserve. Obviously, you got to pay 20 quid. But if you don't want to pay the 20 quid, you come and watch us on the Sanderson show.
Exactly.
Yeah? That's where the action's at. And how does it feel, Callum, to have it back in London for a title fight?
It's surreal. It's it's overdue, to be honest. And I'm happy that Leon's the person. It's so weird how life works out. I remember the last time Leon fought the O2, he fought Gunnar Nelson, if I'm not mistaken, and that was being headlined. I'm trying to remember who's headlined that now.
Was that
was Till Masvidal? No, that was Till Masvidal, I think.
Masvidal, yeah.
And it was like Leon got booed into the octagon, booed out of the octagon, and then three-piece in the soda. He became the laughing stock of the division. Then he got his headline event against Tyron Woodley. That got cancelled within a week. Then he goes on this run where he gets removed from the rankings. No one really cares about him. Then he fights Bilal. It gets stopped because of an accidental eye poke. I was the first to say I think that fight needed to be run back. Didn't run the fight back. Fights Nate Diaz. Dominates Nate Diaz for 20.
No, he's supposed to fight Hamzat. He's supposed to fight
Hamzat like 4 times. Gets cancelled each time. Fights Nate Diaz. Dominates Nate Diaz for like 23 and a half minutes. Gets caught. Almost gets stopped. And everyone's going, oh, he's too chinny. Gets a title shot. Everyone's thinking he ain't doing it. He wins the first round by wrestling, almost getting a submission on Kamaru. 2, 3, and 4 gets beat. 5th round, everyone's saying, we were saying it. Can't believe Leon's going out like this. Now the guy's a champion. 1 head kick, headshot, dead bang.
The commentary leading up from John
and headlining.
Legend.
If you look at the craziness of it, at the time, you'd say he's probably one of the least popular UK fighters. When you look at it now, Aspinall is unavailable. Paddy's unavailable. Molly, I'm not sure what's going on with her. Till's not even in the UFC at the moment. It's Leon who's flying the flag for this event.
Till might be fighting Logan Paul, you know.
I think he should. I think that's a great fight for Till. I genuinely do. I think that's a great fight for Till.
He'll get a payday. That's for sure. But looking at the card, this card is stacked. Like, this is quality. Let's start with the opener. Marvin Vettori versus Ronan Dolidze.
Yeah.
I thought Ronan Dolidze coming into it stopped Jack Hermansson from the bottom position. I thought it was great from him. I thought Hermansson was winning the fight. And then just somehow off the back,
he put him in a calf crusher.
Calf crusher from bottom position.
Oh, it looks so painful as well.
Jack Hermansson is renowned in the middleweight division as being a good wrestler, a really good wrestler. And the fact he got caught with a calf crusher shows that this guy is got something about him. He's 12-1. I think he's undefeated in the UFC.
Yeah.
Against Marvin Vettori, who's
last performance against Whitaker.
Yeah. If I'm being kind to Marvin, I wouldn't call him a gatekeeper, but if you beat him, you're sort of in the outer talk of the title.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great fight for Ronan because Vettori's a good striker. He's a good wrestler. Pushes a good pace.
Yeah.
But if he really wants to show that he's at that level, he needs to be beating Vettori if he wants to show that he's at the title level.
Yeah, I agree. Vettori, look, like him or hate him, he's a workhorse. And The first thing he did after he lost to Robert Whittaker was got on a plane, went to Thailand, started training at Tiger Muay Thai. That speaks of his mentality. He knew the striking in that fight was nowhere near Robert Whittaker's. But let's be real, in the middleweight division, apart from Izzy and Pereira, no one else is at Whittaker's level when it comes to striking. Till gave him a great fight, but this isn't the same Till that was fighting Whittaker.
Yeah.
There's only two men in the middleweight division who can hold a candle to Rob Whittaker's striking. So Martin Vettori has nothing to be ashamed of there. However, he probably never expected to be shut out the way he was. So for him to go to Tiger Muay Thai and start training with absolute killers on a day-to-day basis speaks to his mentality. If he can get his striking up to a level, it's never going to be as good as his wrestling, but up to a level where he can stand and make it competitive against like a Robert Whittaker, and then you utilize his wrestling, he becomes a whole nother dimension, a whole nother problem for this division.
Yeah.
So based on that, I think I'm going Vettori, bro.
The thing is, to be a champ at middleweight, I feel like to be a champ in any of the divisions, there's got to be an attribute that is elite. There's something in your arsenal that's got to be elite. And at the moment, I just don't. Vettori's good. He's good at everything without being elite at anything, if that makes sense. Like,
I think his cardio and work rate's elite.
Yeah, his cardio and work rate's elite. But when you look at the two that are fighting for the belt later on, what are they elite at? They are elite strikers, knockout, power elite. But this is a difficult one. I'm going to go Dolidze. Dolidze, probably by decision, because I don't know. I just got a feeling that Marvin's going to slip down the rankings a little bit, and he'll put on good fights, but he'll unfortunately fall into that gatekeeper category where if you can beat Marvin, like, you're sort of in the club sort of thing. And I never like calling fighters, like you're like the gatekeeper, but he's had a shot at the belt a couple of times. Like, he'll beat everyone else, but when it comes to the elite guys, he just falls short. Yeah, so in that case, I'm going to Dolidze. Next on the card, former title challenger Jennifer Maia facing the returning King Casey O'Neill. How do you feel about this matchup for Casey's return? Because I thought they would have had her fight someone that's on the cusp of being in the top 15. I did not expect her to get a former title challenger straight off the bat.
Bro, this is a massive step up.
Yeah,
like this is a massive step up. Casey O'Neill's showing all the qualities that she can be a real player and a force in this division. But Jennifer Maia, I mean, it was only one round, but she took Valentina deep into a round at a time where Valentina looked absolutely invincible. Like, she made that a difficult fight for Valentina. Granted, her jiu-jitsu is special. Obviously, she's a Maia. Her jiu-jitsu is going to be special. But Casey O'Neill's got a skill set as well, which makes her very difficult to hold down.
Striking.
Yeah, her striking.
I watched the UFC debut. Oh, her striking was different gravy, I think.
Well, it's more crisp than a pack of Walkers, bro. So, like
you saw that in the debut. People calling her something special, like when she was even making her debut, and the fact is that she pieced up the other Shevchenko sister. Like, her striking is elite striking. But I just don't know whether or not after a big ACL injury, it's just the type of fight you want to be rolling back into straight away.
This is my thinking behind it.
She's 25.
But,
it's not like that she's early 30s. This is her last shot at getting somewhere. Like, she's got time on her side.
Yeah.
And this division's cooking at the moment. Like, she doesn't, like, she'll get there because I believe the talent's going to get her there. But you don't need to rush to the party straight away. You could have taken someone like Miranda Maverick, Macy Barber, someone of that level, someone to just ease yourself back in, because we don't know how good the knee is after the injury, and I hate this to be too soon of this level.
So I agree with absolutely everything you just said. I still think she wins, though.
Yeah, I just
think her tenacity, her striking, the fact that it's going to be her first fight back, and I know she's not a Londoner, but she's close to home.
Yeah,
I think that will give her the boost. I see her getting a win.
How though? Do you think she'll get the? She'll use the energy to get a KO?
I think it'll be decision. I think it'll be a 28-27. By unanimous 28-27. And a non-contentious 28-27.
Hey, that'd be something. We get a non-contentious decision.
We hope, yeah,
because we've been having some decisions recently in the UFC that I've gone,
absolutely crazy.
So I'm probably gonna go case. I think I will agree, but I reckon it's gonna be a dog fight though.
Oh yeah, it'll be a hell of a fight.
It's gonna be an absolute dog fight. Like this is like there's gonna be no walkovers for me on this card. Like there's gonna be no ones where you'll put your money instantly going, yeah, they're easily winning. Because I reckon there's gonna be dog fights. There's gonna be great fights in this card. And speaking of great fights, we're going to Gunnar Nelson versus Brian Barberena.
Love this fight.
This is an absolute
love this fight.
Banger. Barberena coming off of a loss to Rafael dos Anjos submission. But before that, he had a barn burner with Robbie Lawler. An absolute barn burner. I think he stopped Robbie.
Yeah, he beat the brakes off Robbie, bless him.
Absolutely smashed Robbie's face to bits. It was unpleasant viewing. And then obviously we've got Gunnar Nelson, who's a massive fan favourite, teammates of a certain Irishman that may be in attendance.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great fight, this. Great fight. I think they're both unranked. This is what I'd call
Nelson's had a long layoff as well.
Yeah. This is a Legends division fight, if you're calling it as a division, because they're both in their mid-30s. They're probably not going to challenge for the title, but it's going to be a great fight for the fans.
I love this fight because both of them can strike, even though I think Barberena might be the better striker. Both of them can grapple, but Gunny is a better grappler. That RDA fight says a lot to me, though.
Yeah.
And I think if you're Gunnar Nelson, you're looking at that RDA fight saying, I'm not going to copy him. I'm not going to mimic him. The moment it went to the ground, RDA was in a different class. And Nelson on the ground is different class. I think that's going to play a big role. And I genuinely believe if Nelson gets him to the ground, it's curtains for Barberena.
Are we talking first round submission curtains?
It depends on how Barberena attempts to fight. If he goes gung-ho, it'll be first round. If he doesn't, then I think second or third submission.
It will all depend about, like the first takedown, the first shot for a takedown, how he defends it. Is he going to easily defend it, or is he just going to get picked up and just taken down straight away? So that's going to be the telling sign. Because if he can sort of like stuff it or gets taken down and pots back up, then it's going to be a really, really good fight. But if Gunnar just drags him down first round, even if he doesn't finish him, I could see him getting a finish in the second round.
Yeah.
Like for me, probably a rear naked choke is always the safest submission to go.
That's the one I see him taking the back. Those awkward punches, those knuckle punches, just to open up a space and then go for the neck.
Yeah, so I'm going Gunnar Nelson, second round submission. Callum?
Same. Literally the same. Unless Barberena comes out super gung-ho, then it'll be first round, if not second round.
Right. The co-main event.
This is the one.
This has got fight of the night.
This has got fight of the year.
Fight of the year, fight of the night performances. Dana, get your checkbook out because you're writing checks on this fight. Justin Gaethje versus Rafeal Fiziev. Co-main event lightweight. I don't know where they're ranked. I think Gaethje's still ranked in the top 5. I think Fiziev is ranked just outside the top 5. Massive, massive fight. I would call this a crossroad fight for Justin Gaethje, because a crossroad fight in terms of title contention, because I think if he loses this, I think people are going to see that like, oh, he's not at that level anymore. He's like, I don't really back him to fight for the UFC gold anymore. And I think he'll slowly just slip down the rankings. He'll still have barn burners. He's still going to have banging fights, but he's not going to be at that title level anymore. That's why I think this is a crossroad fight for him, because it's how much does he want to be in that title picture with Dustin, Charles. I was going to say Chandler, but I don't think he's in the title picture anymore. Like that old guard. How long does that old guard want to stay at the top? And this is against one of the crop that are coming through that are desperate, that have been calling out fighters like Gaethje for just sitting on their rankings.
Yeah.
Well, we get to see. We get to see if is he worthy of sticking towards that title talk.
I don't think it's a crossroads fight, only because Gaethje's so entertaining, and Dana seems to be going down a route of entertainment over result. Gaethje's never been in a boring fight. And here's the thing, even if he loses, the fight's still not going to be boring. Gaethje could be in a 20-second fight and you're still going to have like 3 highlights from that potentially. He's just that guy. That being said, it will be very, very difficult for him to get a title shot if he loses this fight, in my opinion.
I think
all the other fights going on,
he'll struggle unless the person says, I want to fight Justin.
Yeah.
He ain't going to get
even then, I don't see why they would call him out. What's the point if there's other challengers? But again, you might look at him and go, well, he's going to draw money. I know it's going to be an exciting fight, even, and a winnable fight, depending on who it is. If it's Makhachev, he's going to see it as a winnable fight. That also makes Justin very dangerous for this fight, though. Justin's not stupid. He's on. I mean, his last fight was what, Chandler? No, was it? Yeah, it was Chandler, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chandler, MSG.
And again, phenomenal. But the Charles loss, the Khabib loss,
the Dustin loss.
Yeah, it's like he needs a big one here. But I'll be honest, I think this might be a fight where we see a little bit of the change in the guard. Like, maybe I'm a bit biased because I'm a massive, massive Fiziev fan.
Oh, he's great on the mic, you know. Like, he's great.
I just love everything about the guy. He's just
his
authentic.
last fight was a KO of RDA, 5th round. Boom, just overhand.
Carries power. And he broke his nose in that fight as well.
Yeah.
And he was fighting against a guy who's renowned for his pressure and his takedown attempts, etc. And he survived all of that. Gaethje, he's only got to focus on striking effectively. Unless Gaethje's going to come out and start wrestling, which we've never seen.
He's not going to do that.
This is what I mean.
He only
I don't see him doing it.
Takedowns, and that's it.
But if he does, I think it throws a spanner in the works for Fiziev. If he just goes out there and tries to strike with Fiziev, I think he gets pieced up. I think Fiziev's striking is so refined, such a high level, the way his footwork, the way he's able to evade shots. The only person I've seen him in trouble with when it comes to striking is Bobby Green, and Bobby Green can do that to anyone. Fiziev, he hits hard and he hits fast.
It's going to be so interesting because I do feel like, as I've just seen it, Justin's 34, and it is. I've got a feeling that we are going to get the changing of the guard at some point. Like, it's going to have to happen eventually. Like, these fighters can't, like they're human. And yes, he's a great fighter because yes, he's got the granite chin. But you've seen recently, like, fan favorites. Like, the second that chin goes, I reckon if his chin goes, his chin's going to go dramatically. You know, like the Tony style decline. And that's my worry, where he is so entertaining, puts on exciting fights. Yes, it's great for the fans, but like for his career, like for like his comfort after fighting, like this guy's already slurring his words. already slurring his words.
I think that's how he speaks, though.
Yeah. Well, I need to see him when he was a kid. Like, is he slurring his words like that, or like has he been in one too many wars? And Fiziev is young, hungry, striking's crisp. And if Justin thinks, we have a barn burner, and Fiziev's going, yeah, we'll have a barn burner, but I'm just going to be crisper, in, out, then this is going to look very uncomfortable for Justin Gaethje fans because I see Fiziev winning this. I don't think this is a fight where his chin goes, but I reckon it'll be close to going. And then I just think that'll be like, oh, his chin's going.
Here's the thing, though. Justin decided to be less fan-friendly. He could probably win this fight and make it look quite easy if he implemented his wrestling. Because implementing his wrestling would open up the striking avenues and angles as well, because you've got him thinking about the takedown. I wonder if Justin shoots early in this fight just to plant that seed and go, if this is getting a bit dicey for me on the feet, I'm going to take you down. And I'm going to beat you up a little bit and then force you to get back up to waste some of the time and waste some of your energy.
Yeah, because I haven't really seen that. Like, that's going to be one of his biggest what ifs. What if I just use my wrestling a little bit more on the offensive end rather than the defensive end? Because we know Gaethje's a top wrestler back in his high school days, but like we've rarely seen him use his wrestling unless he's been taken down, then he uses his defensive wrestling. So this is where the rankings are at the moment. So I've just got the rankings up. Gaethje's number 3. Fiziev is number 6.
It's tight.
So this is massive. But this is not a number 1 contenders fight. Because Fiziev has said that if Dariush beats Charles and he gets and Fiziev gets the opportunity to fight for the belt first, he's going to give it to Dariush to fight.
I rate that. All right. Should we play Sean Shelby really quickly?
Yeah, go on then. I love it.
Before we came on air, you said it's kind of been confirmed Makhachev ain't going to be around until October, right?
Correct.
Now, I'm not a fan of the interim belt, but it seems as though they're giving him out. So let's make some fun here. When's Dariush fighting Oliveira? Is that May?
I think it's co-main of the Cejudo card. So that's in May. That's the number 1 contenders fight. I think that's the number 1 contenders fight. And then you've got the elephant in the room. Where does that leave Dustin Poirier? Because he's not fighting since Chandler. And there's no, I don't know who's he going to fight. Is he going to get the winner of this maybe?
So this is where we solve it. The winner of Dariush Oliveira gets Makhachev.
Yeah.
The winner of Justin Fiziev gets Dustin Poirier. Take Poirier and Fiziev, or Poirier and Gaethje.
2
September.
Oh.
October.
Saying co-main of the Chandler McGregor. You're saying co-main of that because that's where it's been said.
Oh, Luke.
That's the rumor, by the way.
You're taking the pots and pans out, and now you're cooking, Luke. You're cooking.
That's the rumor, providing McGregor hops in that USADA pool ASAP. Yeah. Then that's the rumored September.
I'm down for that.
Like, I'm 100% down for that because then if there's a drop up from either side, you have Dustin jump up to 170. Boom.
I'm down.
Boom.
I'm down.
Boom. But yeah, Dustin Poirier is the enigma in this situation because he's unbooked. I think
he fights the winner of this weekend. He has to.
Or he's gonna have that Colby level privilege and he's gonna be like, wait for the belt.
The only way that happens though, if the two lightweight fights are contentious, because remember Jamal Hill and Glover only fought for the belt because the other one ended in a draw. And
Dana was like, F this.
To have 2 contentious fights, I just don't see it. I think there'll be someone certified for him.
I hope so. I hope so. I just want no dodgy calls. I hope that when we're doing the watch on, there's no like, huh?
No. Yeah, so do I.
And predictions, because that's gonna be heartbreaking.
Second round TKO for Fiziev.
I'm gonna go Fiziev decision 30-27. It's gonna look
very interesting.
bad. It's gonna look bad.
Hold on. Gaethje hasn't lost a decision yet in the UFC, has he? He lost to Eddie Alvarez, lost to Poirier, lost to Oliveira, Khabib, and they were all by a stoppage.
Well, first thing for everything.
There is. I don't see him losing the decision because I think he'd go so crazy in the last round if he was down on the cards that he'd either stop Fiziev or he'd get stopped.
Do you know what? You've just changed my mind. I think I'm going to switch that to a TKO Fiziev third round. Gaethje doing swingy shit.
Yeah.
And then Fiziev's just going to go boom. Done.
I can rate that. I wouldn't also be surprised if Gaethje won either.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Gaethje won this fight. But for me, like, he's going to have to utilize something that he has not used at all in his UFC career. Yeah. And that is utilize his wrestling in an offensive sense. So unless he does that, I see Fiziev winning round 3 TKO. And you've got it down as round 2 TKO. The main event, the one we've all been waiting for, the one this fight card has been built around, and that is Leon Edwards coming home to defend his newly won welterweight title against Kamaru Usman in the Trilogy bout. Callum, how, like, your first feelings of this trilogy? Like, how excited are you of this potential fight?
Very excited. Had to happen.
Couldn't
First fight, Usman dominated. Second fight, he was dominating. Edwards never looked in any danger of being stopped, though. And Kamaru keeps on talking about there was no highlights for Edwards. Edwards was closer to stopping him in the first round than Usman was ever close to stopping Edwards for the rest of the rounds. And Edwards caught him with an absolutely phenomenal kick. But at the same time, you can't sleep on Usman. Look at his body of work. Look at what he brings to the table. Before this kick against Edwards, we'd maybe seen him rocked once or twice. Like, nothing where you saw him on the ground fighting for his life or anything like that. This one, his eyes were still open.
Silver's record, if he would have been Edwards.
Yeah, one away.
First did, you'll get Anderson Silva's record, and fighters go, nope.
Yeah, literally. But I'm excited for the fight. I'm happy for Leon Edwards, man. I am.
I am so happy for him because he deserves it.
Yeah,
because we are going to get a British fighter in their prime defending the belt.
Yeah.
Much love to Bisping, much love to him because he's a pioneer in this game. But when he defended the belt against Dan Henderson, that wasn't a prime Henderson.
Yeah,
that wasn't a prime Bisping. That was a Bisping wanted to get one back. But this is this is two fighters in their prime going for the trilogy, and it's so interesting because I've not watched all the press conference, but I've seen the good bits, the juicy bits.
Has been talking a good game,
and for someone that's been KO'd, I've never seen someone talk like a good game like this. Yeah. Like in the media day and something like either he feels super confident that he's gonna just. It's going to be business as usual. Or I don't know whether or not that head kick had more of an effect because personally, he's come back too soon for this, for a devastating head kick like this. Like, when was the fight? Less than 6 months ago?
It was in August, wasn't it? It would be around 6 months to the day.
Yeah, about 6 months ago since they fought off of that. So that's a bit of a concern for me. But which fighter do you think needs to make more adjustments to win the trilogy?
Oh, I think most people say Edwards. Most people say Edwards because of Kamaru's wrestling. I think Kamaru's got to make more of the adjustments though. he's got to make more of the adjustments on the feet. Because if Leon catches him early again in this fight and Usman starts going back to type and wrestling, he now leaves himself in a situation where he's going to be shooting without any setups. And if you do that against a striker, likelihood is you end up on the ground on your back getting hammer fisted and the referee jumping in to save you. That being said, Usman's wrestling is the equalizer in this. Yeah. Usman is a good striker, but Leon's a great striker. Edwards is good with his wrestling on the ground. Usman's excellent. I think Usman's got more to do in terms of adjustments, but I think his adjustments are easier to make than Edwards.
Yeah. So for me, with regards to adjustments, I thought both of them. If we look at the second one, I think the altitude played a massive part in Edwards' performance because many fighters struggled that night with altitude. Leon doesn't train in high altitude, and Kamaru does. So that definitely played a factor. I thought Leon was down and out. There was a couple of things like
we both did
with the wrestling. I thought in the second fight, if Usman was more switched on, Leon gave the back a lot, gave the back open. If Usman was a little bit switched on with his wrestling, then he would have taken the back. I thought it's interesting because Leon's timing. You're talking about what makes a champion elite. His timing is elite.
Immaculate.
Immaculate timing. To catch him with the head kick when he drops, which is a very boxing thing to do, where you drop the hands to move the other way. That's a very boxing thing. And the step movement is a very boxing thing with the triangle steps. But I feel like for me, Leon is the one that probably needs to make more adjustments because he's had his rocky moment with the head kick. How are you going to feel now the pressure's on you to perform? Like, I don't want to see his coaches screaming at him saying you gotta pull shit out of the fire. Like, I do not want to see that.
Yeah,
like, I need to see a champion's performance to prove to everyone that that wasn't just a luck, as some people say, a lucky kick.
Yeah, people who call it a lucky kick have never trained, or they're just being haters. Everything you said is spot on, and I've not spoken about the crowd, and I think it's going to go one of two ways. Either the anxiety is going to get to him and he has an adrenaline dump, or he's going to feed off the energy of the crowd. I believe it's the latter. He does seem strong mentally. Like, you look at what he's gone through inside the UFC. He remains private, but I think he's strong mentally. I don't think Usman can break him mentally like he does with other opponents.
Yeah. Well, look at the trash talk today. Like, I know you haven't watched it yet, but
I've seen a snippet.
Yeah.
And Edwards just doesn't seem fazed by it.
It doesn't seem fazed. It's like Kamaru's like saying in, I think Leon got asked a question. It's like Kamaru said in media day, you've not done anything to show that you can actually beat him. And Leon's like, I landed my fucking shin in his head. And stuff like that. And like taking the piss, like say like people in London aren't here to see you. They care about that is in London. No one gives a shit about you.
Yeah, it's London.
And then, like, you're either going to poke the bear and we could see a repeat, or the other fear is that Usman goes, okay, let's try to stop being the striker, because he only tried to be the striker to sort of prove to Masvidal that he had power.
Yeah.
But if he has to arrest, he's got to go back to the pure wrestler. The wrestler, and if Leon thinks about giving the his back openings as much as he did in the second fight, then Usman needs to be hungry to take the back if that happens again. But this is I reckon it's going to be such a tough fight. It's going to be such a tough one to call. Oh, so difficult. You got any predictions?
Yeah, I have. I've got Edwards TKO 4th round.
Repeat?
No, I don't think. I think you'll break him down a bit more this time. I think it's 4th round or 3rd round, but I think TKO for Edwards.
I'm going to go 5th round. I'm going to use a line of Khabib. You can't have 2 primes.
Yeah.
Unless
you buy it from the shop.
I'm not going to go if he loses, he's done. To Usman, but we know his background. He's in his 30s. For someone that has no knees,
bad knees,
he's got insane cardio. But I just don't know if he loses, if he wants to stick around anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's got the fashion, he's got the films, he was in Marvel. I don't know whether or not he
took his eye off the ball, maybe a little.
Took his eye off the ball. I don't know how focused he really is. And like, he's at that level. If he doesn't win the belt, part of him's going to be like, yeah, I might dip.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Or dip or move up if Izzy doesn't win the belt and fight Pereira.
That's a conversation for another day.
But I'm going to go Leon. I reckon he's going to feed off the energy because this is his moment.
Yeah.
He has deserved it. And I don't want to see I don't want to see another Rocky moment. I just want him to be the dominant champion.
Clean performance.
Yeah, clean performance. Yeah, the Rocky performance. That's brilliant. But we need to see why you're here to stay.
Yeah.
Because someone was chirping up Hamzat saying, I'm going to come and get my belt. Well, you need to come and get back to this division first.
You need to beat the scales first, Hamzat. I love Hamzat again, but he needs to beat the scales first.
Yeah. But this is going to be a massive card, a massive event. Callum, tell the people where you can find us this weekend.
This week, you can find us on the Sanderson Show channel, so make sure you tune in for that. Luke will be joining at the lovely start time of 9 p.m. UK time.
Boom. We're not doing the prelims, no? We're not going to give people a little treat.
Let's do it. We're
not going to give people a treat. We're going to start at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's get the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. So make sure you head over to the Sanderson channel. But more important, before you do that, smash a like here and subscribe to Luke's channel. Doing great stuff. We'll continue to do great stuff. And as I always say, he's the man behind the Sanderson Show that makes it tick. Without him, believe you me, I'd probably just fall asleep on the streams.
Be like, Squiggly.
Squiggly.
Yeah. Hey, make sure to check us out on the weekend on the Sanderson Show. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Callum, how close are you to 1,000 subs? Because I swear you're getting closer.
I am. It's slowed down a little bit. I'm on 924 subscribers, I believe, at the moment. So I'm gonna put a cheeky little art scout between now and the card beginning to see if we can hit that 1,000 mark.
Oh, that'd be a massive achievement. Hey, if we can hit 1,000 on stream, that's gonna be big.
Oh, that'd be huge.
But everyone, make sure to check out the Sanderson Show. Callum, let the people know what you had on the channel. You did another great interview.
Recently spoke to Colin Crandall, who hosts the Power MMA show on Twitter, and also spoke to James Lynch from Lynch on Sports. 2 fantastic MMA minds, 2 fantastic people. And yeah, long may the collaborations and interactions continue. And hopefully next time UFC come back to London, me and Luke can get there live.
Or any MMA event in
MMA, Bellator, anyone, anything.
Anyone. Hey, everyone that's watching, make sure they hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And we'll see you all on the weekend, Saturday night, Sanderson Show, UFC 286. We'll see you there.
Let's go.
Let's go.